So I'm sure you'll all agree. Will the fun ever start? But this next juicy question, I'm sure we'll have a good fight, a good scrap. That's what I want to see from both of you. So, without further ado, best player not to win the Balon d'Or because of Ronaldo or Messi, and the year they should have won it.
Right. My player was really easy. The hard thing was picking the year, because every year from 2008 until 2013, I think they probably could have won it. I'm going for Andres Iniesta, the little Spanish magician.
I'm going to go with Robert Lewandowski, and the year was last year, because the Balon d'Or shouldn't have been cancelled. And...
What, so you're going for the year that it got cancelled?
Yeah.
Not this... Oh, my God.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. That's a hard sell, because he wasn't stopped because of either of them. But
yeah, they didn't...
Technically.
He didn't win it because...
Are you trying to imply that either of them two were on the blower behind the scenes asking for it to be cancelled?
Are you saying that Lionel Messi knew he wasn't going to win it, so you rang up UEFA, got on the blower and went, look, I know that Lewandowski's going to win it.
Hold on.
I think COVID's given him a great excuse here.
I'm just reading the question, which was...
In the Messi and Ronaldo era, maybe.
Which is still...
But it's
Messi won it this
when
year,
we talked about this, and it's... The entire point is, Messi and Ronaldo have been so dominant. And I thought it was
Messi won it last year.
Yeah, I thought it was this year when Messi won it instead of Lewandowski, and everyone said Lewandowski should have won.
I can argue that one as well.
Yeah, do that one.
Well, I mean, yeah. So let's do.
He's already lost. He's changed his mind already. Look at that. He's flaked. He's done a me from the previous question. Absolutely despicable. Anyway,
he should have won it both, because last year it shouldn't have been cancelled. This year, that was just an absolute fix. Because, I mean, the Balon d'Or contest as a whole, it's just a popularity contest. So, and Robert Lewandowski, Messi was like, oh no, Robert, you should have won. And then it turns out he never voted for Robert at all. So Messi's just trying to boost his own career.
Is that how Messi speaks, is it?
When he speaks English, that's how he speaks.
Got a very deep Spanish voice, but until he speaks English, then he turns into a Geordie Miss Doubtfire.
That's the real reason why.
Hello there, children.
That's the real reason he didn't move to Man City.
Because he would have been a monk, Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah. All right, they know about that. I just wanted to say,
that's the sequel everyone wants to see, by the way.
Messi Doubtfire. I think you've been an absolute snake trying to get around the question in that way when it's blatantly Ronaldo and Messi.
Not ended yet.
That's fine. That doesn't matter. So what? Like, Messi and Ronaldo have been so dominant, and they've taken away the Balon d'Or from certain players. I think some people are in the Frank Ribery camp of 2013, where you want to travel. Even though my opinion is Robin definitely should have won it that year, not Ribery. But yeah, I won for Iniesta, and I just think he must be the unluckiest man alive not to have won a Balon d'Or in that period when he's won two trebles, two actual full-on trebles.
Barcelona won the trebles.
Barcelona, yeah, he still won them. He's won 3 Champions Leagues in that time, but he's also won with Spain in the time of 2008 to 2012. He won 2 European Championships and a World Cup. What?
Just a pause, because we said in the year that they've won.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just putting some context in that he must be the most unlucky player alive, and that's what I said in my opening statement. Was it was very difficult to even pick the year for this player because he could have won at any of those years. But the reason why I went with 2010, he finished second anyway. So at least he finished second. So in terms of both our picks, they both finished second. So no arguments there. But the reason why Lewandowski is so high is, let's face it, is because he scored a fair amount of goals.
Broke every individual record in Germany.
Germany, that famous league where Timo Werner was one of the best players, and now look at him, class. Anyway, yeah, it's like, so what? I don't care. It was, Iniesta,
just Werner to Lewandowski.
Iniesta.
That's a stretch.
Timo Werner scored a lot of goals and was Germany's starting striker. Like,
but Lewandowski's not German.
Yeah, I know that.
So I'm
very much aware of that. But I'm just saying, like, it's not like Timo Werner before he came as an absolute mug when Liverpool, your golden boys, your favourite team in the world, Liverpool, be like Trent Alexander-Arnold and Virgil van Dijk squad.
With that point that you're trying to make, you can't Polish it too.
Oh Christ Almighty! Right, sorry about that. It's Timo Werner's no mug, but then he comes to currently the best league in the world. And struggles. There is no doubt whatsoever that in the 2010s, that decade, La Liga was the best league in the world. Comfortably the best team in the world. The majority of teams that won the Champions League in that decade were Spanish. Now, Iniesta did the business in that league, in the most difficult league in the world. You won a World Cup. I appreciate Lewandowski's going to struggle to win anything with Poland, but didn't really have any effect. But not only did he win it, he scored a couple of goals, and one of them was the winner in the final after he got booted around left, right and centre of some very, very imposing players. Kept his composure. He's only a little lad. Won the league that year, and it's only because Messi scored so many goals. I mean, he finished ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo when Ronaldo's like equally in his peak over those years, and he's finished second above so many amazing players. What he won that year beats Robert Lewandowski's this year of what did he win? The Bundesliga and the Pokal. Is that what he won? The German. He won the German Cup and the German League. That's what he won. Didn't win a Champions League or anything, which he could have. I mean, Bayern Munich were good enough to win the Champions League. Didn't win it. This season, had a good start at Champions League. He's not had a difficult group at all, even though some mugs still don't put him in the Champions League teams. I don't know why. But that's pretty much at this stage what he's offering. Goals, I think he's, in terms of an all-rounded player, he was probably, better when he first went, better at Dortmund in terms of just his general play. Now he's just that lethal out-loud goal scorer, which is fantastic. Players have made names on it for years, but I think Iniesta is just the complete player. When we talk about the all-time greatest team ever, if you had to pick 11 players, Lewandowski, I don't think would be in the top 10 or 20 forwards to be picked. Iniesta's probably in that starting 11.
I feel like that's a lot of the nostalgia looking back. And
Iniesta is the best, is the joint best with Zinedine Zidane, is the joint best centre midfielder of our lifetimes. And I dare you to name some people might say Xavi. Xavi's very metronomic, fantastic player, unbelievable player, probably top 5 midfield players of our lifetimes. But even then, Iniesta was so much more consistent than even Zidane. Zidane, he scored that amazing Champions League goal, was actually getting bullied by the Spanish press because he was pretty bad in the league all season, then rocks up that one game and scores the greatest Champions League final goal of all time, on par with Gareth Bale or whatever. But Iniesta, this consistent player who does everything. He's the best dribbler I've ever seen, and I am including Messi in that. He's unbelievable when you watch him dribble. He's passing.
Can I just cut in there? Are you including Philippe Albert as well?
I am including. He's not quite as good at shooting as Philippe Albert. His positional sense, his ability to drop in between the lines, his functionality, the way that Barcelona dominated teams from start to finish with a ridiculous amount of possession. The tempo set by Xavi. All of the rest of it is Iniesta. He is so good. He is phenomenal. And I think he's still playing. But that year, he did more than... He's done more than Lewandowski's ever done. He was ridiculous. He was absolutely ridiculous.
So, Aaron, if I could ask there, so that the points that Dan makes are fair, to be honest. He obviously, Iniesta orchestrated a lot from the middle of the park. He was unbelievable. It's quite interesting, I find, this question, because it's the first time where players from different positions are put head-to-head. Very different roles. Would you say one role is more important than others? Everyone talks about how important a top goal scorer for a squad is. Do you think that gives Lewandowski a higher chance of winning?
Lewandowski wasn't just the top scorer for his squad, he was the European and world top goal scorer. So in terms of individual awards, which Messi has won it when he didn't win any trophies, he won it because he scored more than everyone else. So Lewandowski should have won it on that basis.
I think that's a basis that so many people disagree with, and why we found it quite refreshing when Luka Modric won it. Whether he deserved to win it or not is a completely debatable question.
Yeah.
But there are other players, and I think if we reverse, I think we're going to actually reverse this and say, actually, if Messi and Ronaldo were in their prime, Lewandowski wouldn't even have been in the debate for the Balon d'Or, because yes, he was European and world top goal scorer and broke the Bundesliga record, but them numbers were nothing compared to the numbers we have seen Messi and Ronaldo get. The reason why Messi and Ronaldo won so much in terms of their numbers is because their numbers are outrageous numbers. Messi 96 in a calendar year. Like, Lewandowski's nowhere near that. So if Messi was in his prime, Lewandowski doesn't even get any other competition. Whereas Iniesta legitimately got so close to Messi in his prime, 2010.
But Lewandowski would have won it if it wasn't for the COVID pandemic. So looking past, Messi didn't stop playing for a year, Ronaldo didn't stop playing for a year. They still played all through them difficult circumstances, and Lewandowski would have won it, but FIFA were like, no, we don't want to do the awards. So if that pandemic hadn't have happened, we'd be sitting here right now, and I would have to pick a different player because Lewandowski would have won
exactly. You would have won it.
So for the removal of any doubt, because obviously we got up to a bit of a shaky start, slightly dubious, good choice. However, I'm gonna for that. I think the fairest way to proceed is over those 2 years. If you take his average performance, so 19 and 20 was the year that it wasn't, or was it 2021? Balon d'Or wasn't counted. So then,
well, technically it's the end of the year, so it would have been the 2020 Balon d'Or.
2020 Balon d'Or, he didn't win because of COVID. 2021, he got beaten by Messi.
Right. Okay. So that's where I'm going with that. Okay. But proceed.
So, yeah. But if he's allowed 2 years, surely I'm allowed 2 years.
No, because it's in between Balon d'Ors. So...
Yeah, but you've got two... But if you go for 2 seasons, then you can have... Robert Lewandowski won a Champions League and he won a Bundesliga and he won this, that and the other for 1 year.
But it's still up against players who have also had 2 seasons to compete.
That's what I'm saying, I'm allowed 2 years. Because if that's the case, I'll go 2009, 2010 Iniesta.
There was Balon d'Or ceremony, and
I think you're cheating. I think you're mugging people out of a fair debate. Because Lewandowski didn't not win the Champions League because of Messi and Ronaldo. He didn't win it because it was a COVID pandemic. And no one's disagreeing with you that Lewandowski would have won it and should have won it. I'm not even disagreeing that he shouldn't have won it this year. Just like he's been absolutely brilliant. But
the best individual player in the world currently is Lewandowski.
But the question is obviously centered around the best player not to win it because of Lionel Messi and Ronaldo.
In that era.
Yeah, that's fine. Are you trying to tell me Lewandowski's a better player than Andreas Iniesta?
No, in the year that they should have won it. I'm saying that Lewandowski
is a better player this year than Andreas Iniesta in 2010. Are you going to look into a camera and say that out loud?
Yes.
Talking absolute shit. Like, absolute shit. Iniesta orchestrated Barcelona's dominance and Spain's dominance for winning a World Cup. He actually didn't play in the opening game of the World Cup, which is the only game that Spain lost. They lost 1-0 to Switzerland. Didn't play, brings him back in. He actually scored in the final game in the group stage. They won 2-1, and he scored to send them through. So he gets them through the groups, and then he scores the winner in extra time in the World Cup final. But Lewandowski scoring against Farmers 40 times is better. Nonsense.
But he also broke all these records with less games played because the Bundesliga is shorter.
But like he scored a lot of goals. But even when you compare his goals to prime Messi and prime Ronaldo, he's not in the same league as them for that prime time.
It.
Whereas
we're
Iniesta,
comparing it to when the year that they should have won it.
But
so
Iniesta,
Lewandowski,
is
Iniesta
better played
than Messi
in their prime.
And Ronaldo now.
Iniesta had to play in their prime, so Iniesta had to compete with Ronaldo and Messi in their prime, and still managed to come second ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo in his prime. Is absolutely insane. That Lewandowski would not have finished ahead of Ronaldo in his prime.
However, can I point out that this question clearly relates to the fact that Messi and Ronaldo are anomalies. It's unlikely that we'll ever see people reach their peak again. So take them out of the equation. Don't compare their goals to Lewandowski's.
But my point is that they are anomalies, and yet Iniesta finished ahead of Ronaldo in a Balon d'Or finishing. Whereas that has to count for something, because obviously Ronaldo isn't in his prime anymore. He's 36, 37 years of age. So I don't even know why he finished this year, but like loads of people finished.
So you're 37.
Yeah, like he's getting on a bit, Ronnie. So like it's not really in question that he's going to finish higher than Ronaldo now. I think it's an achievement to finish above either. If you finish above either of them two, and don't, that's the thing. If you finish above Messi or Ronaldo and don't win it, how unlucky are you? Like, how unlucky are you? It's a bit like if you in the league a few years ago when they had that Man City Liverpool thing. It's like, imagine finishing above one of them two teams and not winning it. That's kind of like what it's like for Iniesta in that year. It's absolute insanity. Whereas Lewandowski, I don't even think he had to do that much. Like he's great. We pick him up on our podcast all the time, obviously. I'm not saying anything different to that. But in terms of the standard of player, like Iniesta is for me, is an absolute GOAT of his position, whether that's centre midfield or on the left wing where he sometimes occasionally plays. He sort of completely redefined what it is to be a left winger in that position with how he played. He didn't play like a left winger. I've never seen any left winger play like he did. His ability on the ball, Robert Lewandowski is clearly a better finisher than Andreas Iniesta. I don't think that's up for debate. Probably a better header of a ball too. I think outside of that, Iniesta will match him. He's very strong for a little guy. He's dribbling, he's passing, his football intelligence, his ability to exploit the space between defenders, get beyond the defenders, very selfless player, total leader. And there is a reason why Barcelona were so dominant. And there's a reason why Spain were so dominant. And maybe the likes of Argentina weren't, even though they had Messi, and Portugal weren't, even though they had Ronaldo. That midfield, and for me, particularly those years, 2010 in particular, was the moment. I very remember specifically watching the World Cup, and a few pundits were talking about Xavi because he was the central figure at Barcelona at the time. Then a few others, I remember Alan Hansen as well, and I was of the opinion as well that Iniesta's the one to watch. And in that World Cup, he was the driving force. He changed their fortunes. Him and David Villa were their best players, but particularly Iniesta with how he managed to control games and suck the oxygen out of other teams isn't something that Robert Lewandowski's ever capable of doing. I appreciate he's a forward, so it's less likely that he will be able to do it. That's not to say that Iniesta hasn't played false nine and stuff either. I just think he's all round a superior player, and to get ahead of Ronaldo in a Balon d'Or finishing in 2010 and not win it is a piss take.
How did you really feel, Dan? I feel like I didn't get your full message across.
I mean, I'd like...
Viva la Zidane.
If we go across to Aaron now, because your jaw must be aching.
No, I've got a massive chin, remember?
Massive masseter muscles.
Yeah.
Right, so before you come back, Aaron, I'd just like to ask, and let me point out the big points are on offer. Would you like to have the audacity to bring in Lewandowski's Champions League fantasy football utilisation in this round?
Yeah, the fact that I didn't have him was a bit shocking, isn't it?
You didn't even pick Lewandowski for your Champions League team, did you?
Yes, but my fantasy skills...
Get in the
doesn't
bin,
come-
Aaron.
yeah,
Get in the bin.
is
Should have won the
football
Balon d'Or.
ability.
He's not good enough for my Champions League fantasy football team.
Yeah. that was me just being bad at fantasy though. That's not his footballing ability. Like,
To
be honest,
here's having good footballers in my fantasy team.
no,
mate.
because if I had picked him, the way that I play fantasy would have done terrible. So if anything, I've just helped him.
You've done us all a favour, haven't you?
Yeah, I've helped Lewandowski in his career, and when he points up to the sky, it's actually me flying to America. So he's got my face chiseled in his golden boot when he wins. So yeah, me and Robert are tight.
But putting your shovel down because you've dug a canny hole. How would you like to come back to Dan's quite epic monologue? Well, epic's the wrong word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Substantial.
I think it was a soliloquy by the end. I'd used it disappeared. It was just me and Andreas.
Rhyming cutlets.
I think just there's not much. Like, you need all of that to say why Iniesta should win. A full-on sermon. All I need to say is that Lewandowski, we all know that he was cheated out of it, and if it wasn't for the COVID pandemic, he would have won one. He literally finished above Messi and Ronaldo in a year, and it was just down to a worldwide health disaster why he didn't win it. So, he won it. So
Succinct. We'll draw a pin into there. Insert, if you could, please, editor. Non-copyrightable EastEnders drum roll. And we'll be back you in two. Well, I don't know about you, but I've got protection on the way. I feel as if I'm a danger. Dan's rant was verging on psychotic. Nevertheless, I will be giving this rant to Dan.
We're in South Africa.
Rant to Dan.
Welcome, you're live from South Africa.
To Dan and Iniesta. I would say there are quite a few sharp objects around, so I need to be safe there. But also, even though I got a little bit of Lionel in places, Aaron, you did shoot yourself slightly in the foot to begin with, going for a non-Balon d'Or. Yeah?
no fault of his own.
You are being...
I tried to
That's
make
filthy
non-null and
banter.
void.
I was just
However,
going off the question I was given, which was the era, but okay.
next time, if you could sort yourself out before.
I feel like I need to listen to the question more. I apologise.
Downfall.